and welcome back to the Chris and Bob Show. Today we continue our four-part series on the pre-approval process. Today's topic is credit, so I'm going to send it over to Chris at the whiteboard right away because he's got a lot of good information for you. Chris, enlighten us.
Thank you, Bob. Chris coming in here from the Chris and Bob Show. Today we're talking about credit scores, which is a very important topic. Probably a topic, quite honestly, that there's a lot of misunderstanding about out there in the world as well, so we just want to clear some of that up. Now, when it comes to credit reports from a mortgage perspective, we're going to pull all three of your credit bureaus, which is going to be TransUnion, Equifax, and an Experian report. We're going to use the middle of those three scores, which is going to be referred to as your mid score, and we're going to start looking at where that lands in relation to the credit categories that we have. So the range of credit scores is potentially as low as 300 or as high as 850. When it comes to the mortgage, 740 and above is an excellent credit score. What I mean by that is if you come in and you have an 820 or you come in and you have a 741, you're in the same bucket. Your credit score is perfect. You're above a 741. Now, if you come in at above a 700, that's going to be considered great. You still have a good credit score. You're going to qualify for great programs. You're going to have low interest rates. If you start to creep down now into the 660 range, that's still, that's a fair credit score. You're going to qualify for some programs, but you're going to see an increase in your interest rate at that point when you're below the 700 but above the 660 mark. And as you start to drop down below 660, you'll just see increases in interest rates and, quite honestly, a limit to some of the program offerings that are available to you. Now, with Finance of America, it's important to know that we will do a credit score as low as a 580, which in the grand scheme of things, in my experience in the industry, is going to be pretty aggressive. A lot of companies do have a 620 or a 640 cutoff on their credit requirements. So 580 is an important number to keep in mind. Now, as we get into kind of the nitty gritty of what actually makes up someone's credit score, the first one's really obvious, on-time payments. You have a payment due, you make your payment on time. Really straightforward. The second one I'm going to circle back to, but the second one is 30% of your credit score is made up of the proportion of balances to credit limits. I'm going to circle back to that one. 15% of your credit score is made up of the age of your credit accounts. Ideally, the older that your credit accounts are, your credit cards and your loans, the better that looks because you've had a longer period of time that you've established credit. The algorithms that the credit agencies use like that. 10% of your score is made up of new credit. Now that's going to be where someone's pulling your credit. You have credit inquiries, your credit's been looked at, or you've started to open up some new accounts. In the eyes of the credit report, if you have a lot of new accounts that are opened in a short period of time, someone is looking at that and saying, why is this person looking for so many loans and credit cards? It starts to lower your credit score. And then 10% is also made up of the mix of credit. And what I mean by mix of credit is, in the eyes of the credit report, it would be better to have some credit cards and a car loan and a student loan and a mortgage would look better than just having all of your accounts be credit cards or all of your accounts be student loans, because it shows that not only can you manage your finances, but you can manage a wide array of finances as well. And the one misconception is this one right here. Now, 30% of your credit score is made up of the proportion of balances to credit limits on revolving accounts. What that means is, let's say Bob has a credit card. Bob has a $1,000 balance on his credit card, and the limit on that credit card is $1,000. In the eyes of the credit report, Bob has maxed out his limit, and that's going to reflect negatively on his score. Now, let's say I have a $1,000 balance on my credit card also, but my limit is $10,000. I'm only using 10% of my limit, and so even though Bob and I have the same balance on our credit card, in the eyes of the credit report, since I'm only using 10% and he's using 100%, it looks like I'm doing a better job managing my finances. So with that, we're going to send it back to Bob in the studio. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you, Chris. Why did I have to be the guy with the crappy credit? You couldn't switch that around? Anyway, that was a lot of information, and we hope that you got a lot out of that. But credit can be a tricky topic for a lot of people, and if you feel that you're having issues with credit or something may be misreported on your credit report, we'd like to give you a referral partner, get you in touch with a referral partner that we have named John Hudson at Red Phoenix Consulting. He's helped many of our clients qualify for better mortgage products or better rates in a very short period of time. His information is below, and if you need any help contacting him, please reach out to either Chris or myself. and we'll get you connected with them. Thanks for tuning in. We hope you join us next week when we continue our 4-part series on the pre-approval with income. Thank you and have a great day.